This is H.D. Ingles. I want to read you another episode of Interestingly Inane, broadcast on the RU Nuts Network. This episode is about a wombat who went wacky. This is another inane story which is absolutely believable. Note that this story will force the viewer to ask two questions. What nut wrote this? Who let that nut out of the nut house? Now to this exciting story. Wild wombat wreaking wreckage. How it started. A man who lives near to me smuggled a wombat out of Tibet or Egypt or Australia or wherever they come from. Well, the man caged the wombat, and the wombat became very unhappy. The wombat wanted to go home and see his wombat babe. The more the wombat thought about his wombat babe, the angrier he got. At that time, I was unaware of the mysterious marsupial. Now, my wombat studies. Quite by coincidence, I had decided to pursue wombat lore. I never did get to the part about where they came from. For some reason, I decided to study wombat sex life. I discovered that wombats really like those wombat babes. So I decided to obtain a full-size picture of a wombat babe. Those suckers are bigger than I thought, better than 3 feet long. To fully display my wombat babe picture, I purchased a large easel. Every afternoon, I would sit on my deck with a drink, a cigarette, my wombat literature, and my wombat babe picture on the easel. Makes sense. Now, escape of the angry wombat. Well, the man who kidnapped the wombat put him in an aluminum cage. That was a mistake. Those mean marsupials are big and strong. In other words, the caged critter was out of that aluminum cage right quickly. The angry wombat went on a quest to find his wombat babe. That's where I come in. One afternoon, while reading wombat lore, I heard a deep growl, or whatever it is that wombats do. I looked up, and on my deck, I saw an angry wombat. He was staring at my wombat babe picture. The cross critter took a running jump at my wombat babe picture. The easel broke, and the picture was in shreds. Realizing that my picture was not a real wombat babe, the angry wombat became even angrier. The creature glared at me and readied himself for an attack. Where was my good karma? My karma, my karma, my kingdom for my karma. Is good karma so short-lived? I had helped an old lady to cross the street when I was 12. How could my good karma have vanished in only 70 years? It wasn't possible. Well, I found out it was possible because that big sucker attacked me. I dashed off my deck. I ran to the street. I was being pursued by an angry wombat. I had nothing to defend myself with. Then I looked across the street. My neighbors were remodeling their kitchen. To my great luck, there was a kitchen sink waiting to be picked up by the trash truck. I ran to the sink. If I could bop the wombat with the kitchen sink, that would slow him down. But alas, the thing was so damned heavy, I couldn't pick it up. Alas, alas, what to do? Then I saw a little red wagon in the neighbor's front yard. I pulled it to the street and got in, and then it hit me. Little red wagons don't have engines. Another flash of light. I live on a hill. I started rolling down the hill. I was going fast, but Wombat couldn't catch me. Then another flash. Little red wagons don't have brakes either. It was either head for a stop sign or head for a brick wall. I opted for the brick wall. I eased my wagon onto a grassy field and headed for the wall. Hitting a brick wall at that speed didn't seem like a good idea. I bailed out and rolled in the grass. I saw the wagon hit the wall. The wagon bounced up, way, way up. I looked back. The Wombat was coming at full steam. I looked towards the wall. The wagon was falling at a pretty good clip. It fell on a man who was riding a unicycle. I ran to the man. He was out cold. Nothing I could do. I hopped on the unicycle. After about 3 seconds, I remembered. I didn't know. This is crazy. I didn't know how to ride a unicycle. In other words, I fell. I was on the ground, and the crazed Wombat was coming for me. I was a goner. I looked up and saw a trash truck coming. It was a bumpy road. When the truck was alongside the Wombat, it hit a bump. The kitchen sink bounced out of the truck and fell on the Wombat. The angry Wombat was out cold. I called the cops and told them they needed to pick up a man who had been hit by a wagon, the wagon, a unicycle, a kitchen sink, and a Wombat. That was my good deed. My karma will return. I went home and had a drink and a cigarette. Boy, it can't get any more exciting than that. Well, that's it, folks. If you're watching this, you somehow managed to make it all the way through. Thank you for watching.